This conference will now be recorded.
Go, it's a little slow.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming in. I would like to call the Chesterfield Township Committee meeting on July 24th to order. Can we have a flag salute followed by a moment of silence? Can we have the sunshine statement followed by the roll call, please?
Sure. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting has been given by filing written notice with the Township governing body and the Township clerk, mailing written notice to the Township's official newspapers and the Township website, posting written notice on the official bulletin board in the Chesterfield Township Municipal Building, and providing notice to all who have requested same. Ms. Batra?
Here.
Ms. Hughes?
Here.
Mr. Litt is not present. Ms. Cotis Dale is not present. And Mr. Dopty.
Here. Are there any agenda matters requiring recusal? None. Hearing none, we'll move on to the next item. It's a very proud moment for Chesterfield today. We have 3 officers who have served Chesterfield for a very long time and have gone through a very, I would say, a very detailed process and are receiving their promotions today. We are very happy to see everybody come here. I'm glad each one of them, Sergeant Kevin Pebzinski, Sergeant Jeffrey Joy, Sergeant Anthony Seamus, 3 of them represent what we want in our town, and they have served this town very well. They have built great relationships with the community, and they deserve this promotion. So thank you for coming in. I'm going to hand it over to the chief now.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to first thank the entire Township Committee as a whole for all your support throughout this process of establishing new additional sergeants. These promotions serve us well now and will continue to do so into the future by setting up a framework of a higher standard of supervision. Your support for the continued progress and development of our agency is very much appreciated. I'd like to take a few moments to acknowledge these 3 officers that are taking the oath this evening for the position of sergeant. First, we have Anthony Seamus. He's been with us for about 13 years. We have Jeff Joy, who's been here about 18 years, and Kevin Pachinski, who's been here about 21 years. All 3 of these officers have contributed greatly towards cultivating strong, long-lasting relationships with so many members of the community, whether it's with those that live here, work here, own businesses here. These officers have developed positive rapport and built bridges of trust between all of us. They are leaders within the agency and mentors to their fellow officers. The agency would not be what it is without them, and we could not do what we do without their dedication to the mission, the agency, and the community as a whole. I'm personally very proud of all 3 of these officers. I'm grateful for their commitment, and I wish to congratulate them on their well-deserved promotions.
Thank you, Chief. Round of applause. And I would now like Karen Hoyer, our municipal clerk, to administer the oath of office for all the 3 of them. And please do take as many pictures as you want. We have right folks here, all the friends and family members are here, so please do take pictures, and then we'll start on with the next agenda item.
Good luck, man. Congrats. Congrats. Good job, Sarge.
You can throw that thing now. You can throw it now. It's never coming apart.
Mayor,
That's awesome.
excuse me for just a minute, and I'll be back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I know, I'm just thinking the same thing. That's it. I pulled in and the lot was full, and I was like, oh, wow.
Nobody staying for our meeting.
We'll do this last from now on. We'll torture everyone.
All right, where are we at now? And he's a talker.
Nobody's seen.
Oh, I know. That's always the way it is.
Oh, we're gonna continue on the meeting.
He doesn't want to continue.
Roseanne's staying.
Dancing and dance.
Faithful attendee.
Yep.
Wait, can you shut the- Do we, Nate. Oh, never mind, they got it. Perfect.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, moving on to item number 5, approval of the minutes for June 26th. Can I have a motion? Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to the next section, section 6, public comments pertaining to matters on the agenda. Is there anybody in the audience who would like to comment on any matters on the agenda? Actually, it's open to all matters, not just matters on the agenda.
Did I change? I didn't.
Forgot to change that. So if there's anybody in the public who would like to comment? Anybody online? Today I don't see anybody online.
Nope.
Okay, then you know what? I forgot to open and close this.
Okay.
So,
Do it real quick again.
Yeah, we'll do it real quick. So can I have a motion to open to public?
gotcha.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Now, since there's nobody who wishes to comment right now, can I have a motion to close public comments? All in favor? Aye.
Can I just ask that you guys speak into the microphone so we can hear? If you're too far back, thanks. It's, yeah.
Okay, section 7, ordinances for introduction. Ordinance 2025-10, an ordinance amending, revising, and supplementing certain portions of Chapter 130 entitled Land Development to eliminate the requirements of Township Committee review prior to the issuance of any permits, licenses, or other types of approval for properties located in the Ag Zone or district which are enrolled in the voluntary transfer of development rights and other deed-restricted agricultural properties where the proposed use is permitted. So this is an ordinance for introduction. Can I have a motion
I
to
just have a quick
introduce?
question.
Sure.
So I know this came out of, we've had like various barns and stuff that we've needed to approve. The language in the ordinance is just, it's a big chunk that we're taking. I just want to make sure we're not like unintentionally catching anything else in there, that it's only what we've spoken
It's
about.
only allowed uses.
Okay.
So allowed, anything that's, like your conditional use is allowed, but there's certain things they have to meet. So we didn't touch that. It was just any accessory
Perfect.
uses.
Thank you.
You know, I read that last line where the proposed use is permitted. So
Yep.
it's basically avoiding any more bureaucratic procedures that they have to come to the township. That's all. Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-10?
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Aye. When is
The
the
public meeting will be August 27th,
Okay,
August 28th. I apologize.
28th. Moving on to resolutions, resolution 2025-7-1, requesting approval for items of revenue and appropriations under NJSA 40A 4-87 for safe and secure communities in the amount of 18,813 in the 2025 municipal budget. So this is adjustments of items. That's what we're doing here.
This is a grant awarded by the state.
We received
I'm
the
going to guess
funds.
you probably get it since the 90s.
Mhm.
It's to supplement salaries of police officers, and it's just putting it in our budget. It's the formal process we have to utilize to put the funds into our budget.
Okay, got it. I'm good. Okay, can I have a motion to approve resolution 2025-7-01?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2025-7-02, resolution authorizing the refund of tax overpayment for 73 Chesterfield, Georgetown Road, known as Block 901, Lot 16.02. Can I have a motion to approve resolution 2025-7-02?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mayor, if
Yeah.
you'd like, I have outlined some that you could probably do as a whole.
Okay, so
If
two,
you want, you can just go ahead and take this.
yeah, perfect. I was going
They're
to
all
ask.
related matters that I have bracketed together.
Perfect. So we have the next resolution, two resolutions, resolution 2025-7-03, resolution 2025-7-04. Can I have a motion to approve both resolutions?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Then I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resolutions. This is all for purchase of equipment that we need for stormwater management and other Department of Public Works capital expenditure, I guess. So resolution 2025-7-05, resolution 2025-7-06, resolution 2025-7-07, resolution 2025-7-08, and resolution 2025-7-09. Can I have a motion to approve all the 5 resolutions?
Motion.
Second,
Who made the motion? Searching.
Do I have to second something, or is she kind of able to second?
Hmm.
I mean, I'm going to vote for him, but I prefer not to second. I don't support them.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Do we need a roll call then?
All are in favor.
Perfect. Moving on to resolution 2025-7-10 and resolution 2025-7-11. These are to cancel items in the capital ordinance. Can I have a motion to approve both resolutions?
Just
Second.
have a question. We are
Yeah, sure.
closing.
Do we want, can we have a second on it first?
Second.
Thank you.
All,
So we're closing.
There are ordinances that are out there that have either, we've already expended it to the purpose of that ordinance. And the only way to cancel it and put it back in those funds, or only, yeah, so now it's done. It's just canceling those balances that were not used.
Okay. Thank you.
okay, then we have 2 resolutions.
We need a
Oh,
motion
Can
or.
I
a
have a
vote.
motion to,
We already have the motion.
Right, we have the motion. Need
Can I-
the,
we need the vote, right? Can I have the vote to approve?
Aye.
Aye.
thank you.
Resolution 2025-7-12 and Resolution 2025-7-13. These are resolutions to approve connections to the sanitary sewer. So can I have a motion to approve Resolution 2025-7-12 and
No.
2025-7-13?
One is for the sewer and the other is for on site. So PSE&G is on site, correct, Joe?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So PSE&G is on site, but they still have to do a treatment works application.
And that's for the 223 Bordentown Crossway.
Correct.
And the first one is for Dream Home Developers.
Correct.
Apply for sanitary connection. Yep. Can I have a motion to approve 2025-7-12 and 2025-7-13?
Motion.
Second, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This is resolution 2025-7-14 and resolution 2025-7-15. This is to allow the paving of the roads at Fenton Lane Park by T. Barrett Paving Company. Can I have a motion to approve resolutions 2025-7-14 and 2025-7-15?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next resolution, resolution 2025-7-16, resolution appointing the Acuity Consulting Services as the affordable housing administrative agent and authorizing the award of contract for 2025. I just had some thoughts on that, and I just wanted to make sure that we all have a discussion. So I did meet the administrator, and George did explain to me that this was a service that we require. This is an administrative service for managing the affordable housing units, whether they are rental, whether they are purchase, or whether they are. They also help with the sale. They also help with managing all the documentation that is required from new applicants and things like that. So I'm in need. I understand the need, and I'm in support of that need. The thing is, we had gone out for bids, and we went out for bids 2 times, and we did not get any bids, which I was not aware of. I believe nobody applied to those bids. And now I believe after that, we do have 2 parties, CME and Acuity Consulting Services, who have applied for this finally. And the recommendation is to move ahead with Acuity Consulting Services. Now, I did speak to the deputy mayor as well. And my understanding is that these are professional services, and keeping with our process of appointing consulting services or professional services, is there a possibility for us to interview both Acuity Consulting from CME, the principals who will be working with us? Because that's the process that normally we follow every year. So I wanted to understand if there's an opportunity to do that.
Well, it's at your pleasure whether or not an interview is conducted. The only distinction I would make is this is for a very short-term contract that will expire at the end of the year. They would then have to resubmit because we would renew next year. So I know we would have to wait until we could convene the committee. I think we would probably lose 2 months of the service. After we spoke, I thought more about it, and it's one of those things where the delay will actually cost us 2 months of their involvement. So we'll be into September by the time we would appoint.
Just my 2 cents. I don't really think it's necessary. I mean, George, you sent us a very detailed memo about the services that they offer, the pricing. I know we've been having these conversations for 6 to 8 months about
been
doing this.
trying.
So I think that we just need to move forward at this point. I mean, this company seems very reasonable.
And I could just add too, Mayor, just to alleviate any concerns, is as George said, this is just, for the remainder of this year. And if there's any issues that go forward, if we see anything while they are administering the program for the rest of this year, or just at your pleasure, you can always, re-interview or interview for the beginning of next year, because you have to make the appointment again for calendar year 2026 ultimately as well. So
The company we've had for a long time has done, from my understanding from our conversations, barely
barely nothing.
So
Correct.
I think anything. is
It's
a good
actually
step
the
up.
state. It's not.
That's right. I thought there's nobody
Keep it on the
applied.
record.
And we don't pay them, and you, no fault of theirs, you get what you pay for. I mean, Karen has advised me, she's made referrals to people interested, and they never get a response.
Yeah.
They're overwhelmed. And actually, we're required to contract by the DCA. You have to contract with an administrative agent, so.
And I think that just started this year, right? Was it this year?
Yeah, well, I mean, with
recently.
the amendments, right, to the law, it's a requirement now that we have it in place.
Would he
So
also be, I guess, helping residents fill up application forms, or would he be?
Yes. I dealt with another company that did the exact same service in another municipality for years. And whenever someone would call town hall saying, I'm interested in getting an affordable housing unit, no more specifics than that, we would refer them right to that company. They have the listing, they qualify people that apply. If there's an available unit, they do all the work as far as marketing it. They qualify potential residents. So they handle all of those aspects of it. Really, it gets it off our plate entirely.
And then would they give us any monthly or quarterly updates on, I guess,
They have
the
it.
activities.
It's been a long time since I dealt with them. I didn't do it in Long Branch. I don't recall specific reports coming in, but we could always call and ask for an update.
If I understand it correctly, it'll take all the administrative headache that Karen has to go through off our plate, and
Well, these were actually being performed by the state,
Correct.
but we weren't getting anything back from them. So they will assume that role that the state would have been doing, I think, in a more aggressive and comprehensive manner than what we're experiencing now.
so basically what we are saying is then what we expect from the state is not happening,
Correct.
and we are going to appoint this administrative agency to make sure that it happens.
Yes. In a more timely manner, and we can get feedback instantly. I'm familiar with both of the applicants, CME. I worked with them in an engineering capacity, also as our planners in Long Branch. Mr. Vandenkoy, the president of Acuity, I dealt with when he worked at Birdsall Engineering several years ago. He is also a planner. He came recommended from an attorney of a neighboring town that used him in the same capacity, came highly recommended. And also Leah is very familiar with him, with his work. She was very happy to see that he had applied for the service. So either way, we're in good hands. And again, their proposal was significantly less as far as all the hourly rates for all the positions that are associated with this task.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, George, for conducting a thorough vetting process.
So we are comfortable to move ahead, everybody? Okay, then can I have a resolution to approve resolution 2025-7-16, resolution appointing the Acuity Consulting Services, sorry for that, as the affordable housing administrative agent and authorizing the award of contract for 2025. All in favor? Aye. Moving on to section 9, bill list. Can I have a motion to approve the bill list? Second, all in favor? Aye. Reports and discussions. Anything from the liaisons first?
Yeah, so last meeting we decided that the Shade Tree Advisory Board members come up with a different wording for the ordinance. So they did send a letter to the committee, and I hope everybody got to review it so we can move forward with that. The letter from the Shade Tree Advisory Board about the wording of the ordinance.
I did review
No,
it. Do you want to have, go ahead, Karen.
No, I thought the conversation we had is that we weren't going to change the ordinance, that the Shade Tree was going to work with the Environmental Commission through Jane Ryan, as Jane Ryan is the one who reviews the trees and all the shrubbery there, and that together they would put, the letter would come from the Environmental Commission. So that was my understanding from the last, that we weren't doing anything. It sounded like they could do that along with the Environmental Commission without us changing, because we changed the ordinance. Now they're going to be talking about it. Now the Environmental Commission is going to be talking about it, and you have two different things coming together, two different groups coming together and giving two different opinions to the planning board, and now they have to pick and choose which it is.
Yeah, and I spoke with the EC, and that sentiment was echoed, that it may be confusing for the planning board to have two different memos coming to them on the same projects. So the preference there would be to work together with staff and to have their memo or thoughts come to the EC, and then to put one memo together that would then go to the planning board.
And you'll now have a member of the staff who's going to be on the planning board. So if, there's something that's, that they really don't agree with, they can always make comments there at that time. Just because the Environmental Commission puts in a letter doesn't mean that that's going to be approved. Because still the planning board is still the ultimate authority. So they could say, I want the trees planted here, I want these type of trees. The planning board can come out and say, no, well, we don't agree with 1, 2, and 3. It doesn't normally happen. Planning board usually agrees with everything the Environmental Commission says. But I'm just saying that the planning board is ultimately the final say in anything.
So because I know when we discussed this, there was some confusion about the wording, and for the Shade Tree Advisory Board, we wanted it to be specific to the trees. So
No, yeah, I totally understand. And we were talking about that in the beginning. I think that's what we're talking about is changing the ordinance. But then you have two groups speaking. I know you're going to tell the Environmental Commission, who their job is to do that. And now you're going to tell them no, that you're
just
not
to
going to do
understand
that?
how would both come together and kind of work together as one
Which I thought they
unit.
talked about already. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I understood it that when Roseanne had brought this up to us, that she had talked with Jane Ryan and they were going to work together to come up with something to go to the Environmental Commission. And if I misunderstood, that's the way I understood everything was going to
I
happen.
haven't spoken specifically to Jane about it, but I have spoken to the other members who are concerned about the overlap. And I mean, I think that we could work out a process that would work for both groups.
Without having
Be
to
able
change.
to work together without changing the ordinance, which I think will lead to additional problems.
Mhm. I agree.
Well, the goal is for them to get the plans in time so they can make their, yeah, exactly.
That's already going to happen. Aggie's, that's already taken place. That's not a problem.
And, with the changes to the planning board that we are planning to make, we'll also have a member from the Shade Tree Advisory Board on the planning board. That way, we will make sure that it is there. And I think I would expect is that member from the Shade Tree Commission will ask those questions. And if there is something that the Shade Tree Commission wants to formally notify, they notify the township or the planning board via the Environmental Commission.
And the things they put in that memo, that's a great thing of what they should be commenting on.
Kind of
So,
details everything nicely,
Yeah.
so we know
no,
the
I mean,
scope
I
of
think
their
what,
work.
yeah, I think what they wrote up is fine. And that's how they should be reviewing them. And then, work with the Environmental Commission to come up with a portion of the memo that would be submitted to the planning board by the Environmental Commission.
Okay. Anything from your side, Rebecca?
No, our EC meeting was canceled this month, so I don't have any updates there.
Okay.
Yeah, and sorry, one more
yeah, go
update
ahead.
from the Tree Tenders Committee. We do have another workshop happening on the 6th of August, which is a weekday evening, because, we wanted to have folks, who missed the previous workshops, they get a chance to attend. So we want to let everyone know, whoever wants to be part of the workshop. It was really useful, and hopefully we can have more participation this time also.
Good. Okay. Second topic that we have is the recreation fees. I know I did receive an email and I've discussed it with the administrator as well, but I have not had an opportunity to discuss with everybody in the township committee, which was what I was hoping to do on the recreation fees. I think we had requested a step up program kind of a thing and not a sudden increase. I think what we have in the revised recreation fees is that gradual increase, the step-by-step increase over 2 or 3 years to be where we need to be. I align with their recommendation, but I do feel we need to have Denise and Matt along with the three of us to opine, and then I think we should put it in as a resolution. But do you have any preliminary thoughts, either of you?
Yeah, I still have concerns over raising the resident fee. I understand, and I know it came up when we were doing the budget, and trying to figure out the dollars there, but I have no issue raising the non-resident fee. I think what you put together, George, is really good, but I do have concerns raising the fee on residents at this point.
And I think the only response I have, or what I've understood, is that we are well below what our neighboring towns charge, and that we need to make sure that we get, we get compensated enough, because if you look at the total spend that we have to maintain these facilities, we do have a significant burden on the township.
I understand that, but our property taxes are also well above the neighboring towns. And I think that burden is enough on our taxpayers. And I don't think that we have been able to do anything to reduce the property tax burden or even keep it flat. We've increased it the last 2 years that I've been on the committee, unfortunately. So I don't feel right at this point increasing another fee that they'll have to pay.
Fair enough. We'll wait next week to talk to Matt and Denise, and then we'll take it from there. George, anything you'd like to add?
Just want to point out for those that don't have the numbers in front of them, those in the audience and anyone watching, the increases to residents, I just want to be clear, for those basically kids that play on teams, I did not put any increase on those fees that go to the users that are our residents. For example, CTAA children would not be charged anymore through their teams. The cricket team would not be charged anymore for our residents. Also, for the parks rentals, there would be no increase to residents, just to non-residents. So I did keep that in mind, that we didn't want to affect our families that have children enrolled in programs. The residential fees that did increase are for group activities, and my understanding is much of which are camps that do charge a fee for participation and make money off of it. I do realize that there is often a pass-through on increased fees, but these were pretty modest. And again, they wouldn't take effect until January of 26, and then not for another 2 years, January of 28. And the percentages on the non-residents are higher than for the residents as proposed. But whatever the committee feels is appropriate, obviously, that's your decision.
Yeah, and just to clarify, even for the rec building, there's no increase for residents.
Correct. The hourly rate stays the same.
They say.
Yeah, so it's primarily for non-residents, and I think it's a very modest fee increase, keeping in mind how we have to balance the affordability with maintaining the facilities.
Correct.
And the fees as they exist now were implemented in 2017, just to give you some perspective on the time frame.
Okay, thank you for that. Moving on to reports of administration. The first item there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, there's number C, which, oops, you have, go back to your other one, sorry. That was before I made the last change.
Oh,
C
there's
is
one
added.
more.
Yes, C, sorry about that.
Okay, there's one
That
more.
was the last minute change.
Yeah, this is a request for proposal, real estate economic analysis, and this, can you speak to that?
I can speak to this. This has to do with our affordable housing. As we've talked about this, as we've gone through this process this year so far, Chesterfield's unique. We always talk about our TDR, successful TDR program. And also we have the unique set aside. Most municipalities in their inclusionary developments have a set aside for affordable housing of 15 to 20% is the average you'll see throughout the state. Chesterfield's unique in that it's a 6% set aside. And that's because of the TDR program and the value of those development credits. And there's a finite balance to be taken there, so you don't try to erode those credits and the value of those credits and the landowner's equity in the TDR program. So back when we got the 6% set aside years and years ago, there was an analysis performed by an outside firm based on a number of factors to establish the 6% set aside. With our housing element and fair share plan that we just submitted, we do speak about in that plan, as you're familiar with, potentially, there's talk in there about potentially increasing that set aside maybe up to 15%. But in order for the township to adequately and appropriately do that, we're going to have to conduct another one of those analyses that we haven't done since we did it way back 20, 25 years ago. So that's what this RFP is. I've been working with Leah, our planner, and administration, and we do have a pretty substantial draft put together here. We want to get out to some of these firms that we hope will be bidding on this or putting in a proposal to provide these services. Again, this is unique. No other municipality has to do this. No, we're the only one who has a successful TDR program. So, like I said, nobody else is having to do this economic analysis in terms of the credit values and set aside percentages based on that program. But we're going to have to update that and make sure that our facts and figures are up to date with in terms of the market, the infrastructure that's already in place in this municipality, the remaining number of credits, and things like that. So what we're asking for you, committee, is just your blessing to at least get this proposal squared away. subject to any final revisions by myself, Ms. Bruder, or administration, and then at least get it out to those firms so they can come back with proposals for you and for us to evaluate.
So we are going to go in for an RFP for this.
Yes.
Okay. And in your estimate, how long will this process take, and what would be the financial commitment that we would need to make something like this?
Well, because it's so unique and we haven't done it in 25 years, I'm not sure what kind of rates you're going to get to do this proposal. So we're going to have to kind of see what we get. We do have at least 4 firms right off the bat that we know we're going to be providing this to for them to review and potentially provide a response. We want responses back sometime in August because we want to move this along. Obviously, with our affordable housing, with the law, with our housing element and fair share plan, we want to get that squared away and make sure that we have our numbers back up what we're trying to implement in that plan. So we would be looking for responses to be back by the end of August, I hope before the August meeting, so we can at least discuss it again at the August meeting, which is not till the 28th of August.
And Mayor, just so you know, this is something that we committed to doing in the report that we passed.
Yeah.
I understand that, and I'm in support of that. What I'm trying to understand is the timeline, and what I'm also trying to understand is, if we do award this contract, how much time would that economic analysis take, and what is our financial commitment to that? So we have to do it. I think we need it. It's just trying to understand the timeline. And the only other thing that comes to mind is we did have a housing administrative agent, and we had 2 firms apply for that. Are they also likely to apply for this? And if it does make sense for the similar, or are they going to be completely different?
Yeah, completely different types of firms doing the work. It's a different type of. It's more of like an economic firm that's doing this, as compared to the housing administration services that like Acuity does that you just awarded. Completely different things.
Okay, now I'm in support of moving ahead with setting the RFP. And when will you be putting out? Do you need the approval now to put out the RFP, or do you need it?
I'm just looking for a motion. Yeah, that once that administration, legal counsel, and the planner is comfortable with the RFP, that we can put it out. Because I want to get it out before our next meeting, obviously. Like I want
Is
to get
there
it.
a timeline in the RFP for when we would want the report by?
I don't know if we have set that yet in here, but yeah, we should. We're going to put something in there. And I want something reasonable, but I want something where I don't want to, I don't want to drive everyone out. And
Right, I mean, we need an effective, good report, but we also need it soon, so it's.
And because this is and it's hard, we already have, 10 pages or so, but it's hard to kind of encapsulate our situation here in Chesterfield in just like a short number of pages. So the RFP also encourages those firms to immediately reach out to Chesterfield, and we can, further discuss what we're actually seeking in this in case there's going to be questions, because it's not normal. Like I said, this is the thing that these firms do for other towns. Like this is a one-off unique thing. So I'm sure a lot of them are going to have different questions.
Yeah, and what's in their scope, and everything is being defined in the RFP.
Yes, as to the factors that were in the last analysis, is the factors that we're looking for here, and that we could provide that information to the successful applicant for them to conduct their analysis using that information.
Thank you to you and Lee. I know it was an undertaking to get it on tonight's agenda and to have it as far as you have it, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to then allow the attorney to move ahead with, I would say, setting up the RFP, and after it is ready, then to go out for bids? All in favor? Aye. Now moving on to section 11, reports from the administration. One change that I would like to do is the appointment of Dan Brown to the planning board. He is going to fill the unexpired term of Ray Lumio, who's unable to fulfill this responsibility. So I did notify Karen and Dan Brown here, both of them, We did speak to Dan, Denise and I think Suruchi, you had also spoken to Dan. So we do want to move ahead with this appointment. What I did not understand is how far will this unexpired term go? Is it only at the end of this year or?
No, I think, I don't have it with me here, but
Is it
when
3 years?
Dan does his oath, it'll be on the bottom. I think Ray was just reappointed
Beginning of this year,
within the last couple of years, so it's probably another 3 years,
3 years.
is my guess. But I don't know without looking at the form.
Okay. So can we add it to our, do I need to add it to our agenda or? you
No,
just
this
have-
is your appointment, so there's no need to do a resolution.
Okay,
And so that's all this was on there, and then Dan will take his oath at the next planning board meeting.
perfect. And did you receive the information that you need to get in touch with Dan Brown? I'd asked him to fill out a volunteer form. And can Dan please at least provide his information to Karen via email so she can have everything on record?
I think it's just the email that I need. Dan, I just need your email, so before you leave, if you can give me your email. Okay.
Thank you for that. Moving on to anything from the Township Committee? And then moving on to reports from the administration, anything from the administration?
Just one item I want to make you aware of. As I know you're all aware, before I arrived here in Chesterfield, the municipality's been waiting with bated breath for some progress on the roundabout at Old
Yes.
York Road, Marjoram, and Chesterfield Crosswicks. I was contacted by Herb Ames, who I know you're all familiar with, about a week ago. Herb went to the county commissioners meeting on July 16th and got up and spoke publicly about the lack of progress and inquiring of the commissioners as to what the status of the project is. He conveyed all this to me the following day. We had a phone conversation and he emailed me. We've been discussing this for quite some time. Herb indicated to me that the response of the commissioners was very much that they are concerned, the lack of progress, and they assured him that at the next meeting, which will be August 13th, they will have answers for the township as to what's going on with funding and moving this project along. So I just wanted to make you aware that Herb will be at that meeting, and we should be getting, I haven't been contacted by the county since. He did inform me that representatives of the engineer's office were in the audience. They didn't participate in the conversation, but he laid out the timeline as best he could as to where we started with this, the other two traffic roundabouts that we have, and the delays that we've encountered with this project. So I'm really hopeful, based on what Herb said, that we're going to get some type of information next month on where the county's at with this.
That'll be good. Yeah, because we've been waiting for a long time, and I'm given to understand that the county already had approved a budget. So they already have the money is what I'm given to understand. It's just making sure that the designs move forward to the next level and the work
I don't know
starts.
if Joe's heard anything about it.
And that reminded me one thing that I did have, just wanted to bring it to your attention. I did read about the road closure notice for the emergency road repair that's going to happen. That's going to happen on Chesterfield Georgetown Road. I know it's on our website. I also wanted to make sure we kind of send out that email blast. So informing whoever we have on our file
Sure.
who receive
Send
the
out tomorrow.
newsletters, yeah, so that they know that there is a road closure planned. It's from, I believe, 7 a.m. to 5, or it's half the day for sure. Yeah,
They already approved hours for.
they already approved. Yeah. So we just want, I know. And I did see it on the, it's there on our website, but then you have to wait for it to scroll to that page. I think just pushing it out is also a good idea.
Okay. We can put it at the top and scroll across the top, I think, too.
Great. Anything else from the administration? We did get the township engineer's report. Do you want to go through that, Joe? Yeah, please.
The first projects on there are the road projects. The first one's Marjoram Road. The second one is Hogback Road Phase 1. They're both going to go to DOT for approval to bid. We made the revisions to Margam Road for the 24-foot wide roadway. And I reviewed that today. It should go to DOT actually tomorrow, if not Monday. Hogback Road is also ready to go. That'll go Monday as well. Both of those we'll just wait for DOT to review them, approve them to bid, and then we can go right out to bid for them. Phase 2 improvements, that grant is the 2026 municipal aid grant that was due on July 1st. We submitted $535,000 plus or minus for the remaining portion of Hogback Road. Items 5 and 6 are the local recreation improvement grant projects we did at Fenton Park for the parking lot and for the paving of the walking path. Both of those projects are complete. The change orders to adjust the contract to the contract quantities, the completed quantities, they were on tonight's agenda, so they will get their final payments, and maintenance bond will be in effect for 2 years. All that work. Both of those projects will be closed out. Once checks are sent out to the contractor for their final payments, we'll get copies of all the checks and then submit for reimbursement of the grant. Both of those. For item 7 is the municipal parks grant that we submitted for on June 27th. That is the completion of the asphalt path, additional pickleball, and an asphalt multi-purpose area. We usually hear that one, I believe that in November, I think they make those announcements. It's been a few years since they had that grant program, so we'll see what happens. But we submitted for $166,000 for that grant. Item number 9 is the gazebo. That's in, concrete's done. All the restoration work is done, so I will submit final paperwork for that to close that project out.
That's awesome. So are the residents already using it, or you still have to open it for the residents to use?
I haven't seen them there, but I've only been there at 10, 11 a.m. Troy says they're using it, so
Okay, awesome. That's good to know.
we're good there. Item number 10 is the Public Works site. We had an informal meeting about that. We're working on we pretty much vetted out a concept plan to keep DPW at that location and redevelop the front area. Now we're working on a concept to evaluate bringing them over here and what that looks like and the resultant property if they were to vacate that spot. So once we have that second concept, we can meet again and evaluate where we want to go from there.
Perfect. That'll be good. And do you anticipate that to be ready by next month, or?
I can probably have it for next month, yeah, but I'm not going to be at the meeting next meeting.
If you just, once you have it ready, if you send it by email, I would like the township committee to look
If
at
it's
it.
ready, I'll send it.
Because then it's not going to be an easy decision.
No, I
So
know.
there'll be a lot more questions.
I know, yeah, that's fine. And if we need to make modifications or look at other options, we can do that. Item 11 is the emergency repair on Chesterfield Georgetown Road. We did have a pre-construction meeting and got squared away as far as the detour and all that. You saw that. I sent the minutes out with the detour plan. Contractor anticipates no more than 2 weeks to do the construction. He's hoping to actually finish it in 1 week and complete that project. I did attach, I did another, it's been a little while since I did that project budget tracking, so I did attach that to the back of my report. So you can see where we stand on the engineering budgets that proposals that we've approved, the projects that are still underway. Oh, a couple of them are done, actually. The generators are done. Cricket pitch and the gazebo are both done.
I'm glad the generators are done. It took a very long time to get those done. Okay, thank you for that. Any questions? Okay, anybody else in the administration? Nope, good. Moving on to section 12 for public comments, I would like a motion to open it for public comments.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
On Donahue, 79 Bourne Chesterfield Road. I'm back. Couple things. We are probably one of the only townships in the state of New Jersey that the parents do not have to volunteer to do stuff for the rec committee. And what I mean by that is in Robbinsville, when my son played football, we had to line the fields. Public Works cut it, but we had to line the fields. We had to make sure the bases were there and stuff. We're the only township that Troy and his department has to do everything. And I think if we're not going to raise the rates on the residents, then it's time that they start helping out. The other thing is, I said it before and I'm going to say it again, the special assessment district. I don't have access to sewer. I don't get my roads plowed by the township. I get nothing practically. But you expect me as a taxpayer to pay for when the new development needs the roads redone. You expect the other residents that don't reap the benefits of it to do that. So at some point, you guys are going to have to make the decision, because if the referendum comes, and it will fail, I'll be honest with you, because I've talked to a lot of people and they said they're not voting for it. We're now going to be in a situation where we just promoted our wonderful police officers. What are you going to say now? Should we cut them? Should we cut the fire department? Should we cut EMTs? I don't want that to happen. We need our police department. We need fire. We need EMTs. But you guys are going to have to make some tough decisions, because as it stands right now, the fact that a lot of these houses are paying almost $1,000 a month for our taxes and I get nothing, that's ridiculous. I love this town, but enough is enough. Like, I get we have to do the affordable housing. That's what the governor said, whatever. But my point is, like, you guys are sitting here decimating things. And I also want to put in front of you, because I know it's probably going to come in front of you, because the planning board got canceled. I was supposed to go to that. But they want to build this thing on the preserved property that I know that I brought up in a meeting when the warehouse was coming and said, what about the property on Hogback Road? Can we deed restrict it that only a house can go on there? And I was told that that was what was going to happen. It was going to be farmland assessed. But now we want to put something on there. Like, at what point do we say we're getting rid of all the farms? Like, some reason you guys moved here. You moved here for some reason, whether it was the farms, the community, whatever, but you're going to decimate it. And I'm not going to stand by with that. If I got to fill this meeting, every meeting with people to talk about this, I will. I'll bring people from outside that new development. Because at this point in time, you guys are going to have to make that new development a special assessment district where it gets levied on you guys, because it should not be on me. It should not. If I need my road replaced, you guys are not footing the bill there. The county is doing it. And I don't mind paying for the county to do it. But again, I can't justify how each year my taxes go through the roof. And what am I reaping from it? I don't have trash service. That's it. Please, that's it. I don't use public works. Thanks.
Anybody else? Anybody online? Okay. Can I have a motion to close public comments?
Okay.
All in favor? Aye. Do we need an executive session today?
Can I just clarify one thing that was said to Dawn?
Yep.
Dawn, the property you're talking about is not preserved. The property that is coming before the planning board is not a preserved property. Just, it's in the ag zone, but it's not a preserved property. That's all. I just wanted to clarify. It's zoned agriculture. I just wanted to clarify that it is not preserved farmland.
Okay. Don't require an executive session, then can I have a motion to adjourn?
I can.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming in.